we are doing what we were doing last time, which is to finish up our 15 puzzle. Yeah, that's not what I want. There you go. Just gonna wait a bit for everything to start showing up. Alright. Not gonna play now. Yeah, so this is the application from last time. I am not sure how far we went. I think we finished the slot selected function. When a slot is selected, we want to switch it with the free slot, right? All right, let's start it up. So npm start this thing. I think I have latest Fable compiler. I'm not sure, but it looks fairly latest. Okay, it's compiling. Let's go localhost 8080 and wait for it. Yeah, it doesn't work yet because we haven't finished compiling. Still waiting, okay. Yep. There you go, it starts loading. Let me just show a second here. Show the code here, then I can start doing stuff from the 15Puzzle or the components, right? Okay, I still need some space. I think we managed to do it somewhat responsive. Whatever that means here. Kind of responsive. Still looks quite ugly. So I hope today we can do something about that. So now we can swap with the free slot. So now we could change the positions of boxes. We can swap out with the slots. So now we should be able to put things in the right order and start finishing the game. I think yeah, this kind of works. Yeah, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to do 5 up until 15 and make the free slot go here. You know how that goes. Okay, I already showed you the game. Pretty simple stuff. So today I want to do things with the styling, because it would be really nice if there is some hover effect, so the styling change based on hover. I can do it in JavaScript, but I will switch to proper CSS. So we can do that. The other thing I wanted to do is that make it impossible to switch with any non-adjacent cell, because now I could switch with these diagonal cells, but that's not legal in this game. I should only be allowed to switch out a cell that is adjacent horizontally or vertically. So that's something I want to do as well today. And I want to get a little bit into unit testing, so let's see how that goes. Hi there, hi Sam. How's it going? What are you guys up to today? I'm gonna try to make this work. I have no idea if I'm gonna make it, because I'm just going through and see how this goes. So let's see. Okay, this was the component, and I would like to start using CSS instead. So basically we have this div, which is for each slot, and we have the container. Well, this is, where's the container div? No, this is the container div, and this is each slot, which takes all of these styling, and we're going to put that into a CSS module. So let's see how that goes. First of all, let's make a CSS file. We call that 15Puzzle. And now this is important when we're doing a modular CSS, because well, there are two ways to do this. You can make one CSS file which is global, and every class you implement there will apply to the entire application. Or you can make use of CSS modules, and that's what I wanted to do, because CSS modules are, as the name implies, scoped. Well, that's not what the name implies, but the fact that they are modules, they're not global. So when you use CSS modules, they're scoped to the places where you use them. So if you have two modules that use the same CSS style, each compiled style name, class name, will be different. But that's only during compile time. During development, I will show you how this works. So it basically, if you want to make a CSS module, you go some file name and then module and then CSS. When you import such file, because you put this module in between, the CSS loader will know that you are working with a module and not with some global file like I have in here. I'm not sure if I want to use Sass for this. I think CSS will be more than sufficient for the needs of this simple thingy. So let me take those styles that I have in the components. Let's start with a simple one. If I remove this prop altogether, it should break. Let me try to break it. If I break it, the buttons shouldn't be like this anymore. They should be like, yeah, it should be like that. And now let's try to fix it. So this would be the game container, but what do I call it? The slot container. Slot container. It has a display of flex. When the flex direction I think it was row. I'm not sure, let me see. Flex wrap was wrap, and we have a padding of 20 pixels. Okay. Flex wrap will be wrap, and the padding would be 20 pixels. I'll be checking the chat every now and then to see what you guys are saying. Okay, so that's my CSS styling. Application is still broken. Now I want to use this CSS module inside of the application. What I'm gonna do in components, I'm not sure if I want to make another module out of it. Let's see. I can't have a value inside of this namespace, right? Let values 1. Yeah, namespaces cannot do that. Alright. I want to make a module, but that doesn't help me a lot. Because I want the value to be private. Okay, I will add it just to the FifteenPuzzle game in here. So basically, well, what I want to do, I want to import it as a style sheet and then use it and index that imported value to get the classes. So let's say style sheet is style sheet dot load, and I want to load this thing. All right. So that's my style sheet, and the type of this thing is, well, an interface for what looks like a style sheet, and the only thing you can do with this value is you can index the classes from it. So this is my slot container. It means this div should take a class name, which will be the 15Puzzle. I'll give it an array. 15Puzzle style sheet, and that will be slot container. Wow, it works. It's fixed. So what did we actually do here? We actually used a scoped CSS thingy. Let's look at how the code looks like. Let's look at the elements, and you will see that it has this weird class name, which is like the hash of the style. It's funny that I can't see the original style name. It's probably one of those loader configuration thingies that lets me see the actual style name. But it basically hashes the name, the actual name. But here I'm just using this. And you might ask, what's this style sheet thing? It's this weird type. What can I do with it? If you look at it, style sheet dot, it has nothing. So these four things don't stand. It's just for like any object, right? But it has only one member called item, which takes a string and returns another string, like a dictionary basically. And that's what gets called when you index. That's what gets called when you index. If we want to look at this thing, it's actually just a JavaScript object that was imported. When we load a CSS module like that, the CSS loader will turn the module into a JavaScript object that can be worked with. So if we console log this thing, if we console log the style sheet, you will see what it does. And console, and there you go. So this is the CSS module that was loaded. So it did two things. One is that it turned these classes into global classes and gave them unique names, while also scoping those names to the names that I gave them while I'm writing the CSS style sheet. I hope that made sense. But basically it says if you can index this key to get this value, you could use the class name, the generated class name. And that's what's happening in here. I can write the CSS here, make it scoped into a value, and then just start indexing the class names from it. And that's how it works. So this is one thing. This is for the container. So let's go back to the container. One thing that I really like about styled CSS modules is that they work really nicely with the hot module reloading, which means I should be able to do this. And okay, so let me change the state first and do stuff. The state should be retained without the application reloading. Did you see that? So the application did not reset the state while I'm changing the CSS, which is kind of great. Because ideally you don't want to refresh and do stuff. See, it just works, which is kind of what we want. So let me rewrite the other styles in here. So we can get rid of this. Let me save this. Put it like here. You don't even need an array of classes. In this case, I just have one class, right? One class name, the slot container. The slot container and the children. All right, and now let's do these ones, right? So that would be, where is it? The nesting is a little bit getting into me. Let's try to fix that next. So this is the slot, right? This is the slot. And it has height of 40 pixels. It has a margin of 5 pixels. Padding top. 10 pixels, border radius 15, cursor is corner, pointer I mean. What else? We have the width, which will be like 22%. And the background color is light green. Background color light green. All right, that's the slot. And if it is the free position, then it gets light gray. You click on the, yeah. Unless it's a free position, it gets another name. So basically that's the slot. And we have a free slot. That is actually this, except with the background color gray. I don't know, can we say apply or compose? Compose slot, is that something we can use here? Unknown rule. I was pretty sure you could do something like compose and apply, so that you could reuse the CSS rules in here. Anyone know how to do that? Hi there, Dimitri. Does the build fail if the key slot container does not exist? Nope, it returns an empty string if the key does not exist. In which case you will see that your application doesn't have any styles. So you could say that's a drawback, but I think like it's with the trade-off that you can use CSS, it's pretty great. Because if you're working with as a designer, they don't want to touch your F# code. They would much rather stay in the CSS realm, like here. And I think, yeah, it's pretty good to interoperate with these things, even if you don't go F# all the way. It's pretty good. You could also easily copy paste some CSS tutorials into F# code. And you could also do things like these states. So, for example, like the hover. Is it just hover? If I'm able to write it like this. So the background color turns lime green. I don't know. It has to be some kind of hue from this. Let's say lime green. Okay. So this div, let me just focus on the code instead. So we have slot. Let's put it in here. So we have prop.className, which will be this I could also just say style sheet, just scope it like this. Styles. Style sheet is this component dot style sheet. Just to simplify the nesting a little bit. I'll simplify this again, but just wait a second. Okay, so first of all we have a slot, and if it's the free slot, where is it? Well, if it's the free slots, then we give it the free slot class. Otherwise, we just give it the slot class. Which means we can get rid of this. Else. Yeah. It doesn't have to be an array. I'm just using an array here to be able to nest them. So that's okay-ish. Alright, so if it's a slot, okay, save. Let's look at the app. Well, it seems I forgot my radius, but there you have it. I could actually make some hover states without touching the JavaScript, because otherwise I would have to keep track of a bunch of hover states and bind the mouse over and mouse enter and mouse leave events, which is okay-ish, but still it's a bit meh compared to what I'm trying to do here. So yeah, so this works. Does it still maintain the state? I want to just make sure. So you can go back here. Let's see. I did add border radius. Oh, it has to be pixels. Yeah, that's a little bit of shame. I don't get an error or something. I can get away from this. Yeah, there you go. I'm not sure if it's better like that. Let's see. First of all, let me pin this thing. Yep. If I pin it, it stays. It remains a topmost window, so that's great. All right, this works. The border radius is a bit too much. Let's go back to 10. Is that 10? 5. Yeah. Same for the free slot. Where is it? Border radius. Free slot. There you go. The free slot is not clickable, so it doesn't need a cursor, right? Yeah, you don't click on the free slot. You only click on the other stuff. All right, that looks somewhat better. Let's make it a little bit fancy. So transition. Nope. Transition. Background color 1s. Is that how you do it? Let's open MDN. Yeah, the property name and then how long it takes. Okay. Let's save that. So now, okay, that's a bit too slow. Okay, what do you think? It's a bit slow. Yeah, something like that. It's still snappy, but there's a little bit of an animation. 200 milliseconds. Okay, padding top needs to be 20. I want that number to be in the middle. Yeah, something like that. All right, that's the padding top. There you go. And what else? The font size. Font size maybe needs it to be a bit bigger. So font size is large. Yeah, something like that. Okay. That's much nicer. So that's how you use scoped CSS in Fable. Okay. Or slot.free. Yeah, could. I'm not sure if import works. I'm pretty sure if you go to CSS modules, which is, I think here they show the spec. This is only the spec. Let's look at where they are using it. Oh, they are saying import our module format. Okay, naming. Yeah, you see? For local class names, class names cleaner. Yeah, we're always going to be indexing like this because we're not going to use JavaScript things. So that's easier. Oh yeah, see compose. I can use composes this other class name. Okay, let's give that a try. Composition. That sounds pretty great. You could compose from other CSS modules. That sounds pretty nice. Let's see. So free slot composes composes the slot. That's a bit unfortunate. Did I still get a warning? Yeah, actually, I don't want to compose it because now it takes the hover. Now it takes the hover class, the hover state. Okay, you would have to do something like slot base, right? Slot base, which is these things. This free slot composes the base. Yeah, both of them compose the base. Compose the base. I have no idea if my naming makes sense here. But yeah, it seems to work fine and looks pretty good. It's working nicely. Okay. Yeah, but it's a bit unfortunate that I get this. What happens if I use a SAS file? Does it have something called composes? Still, I think this is pretty cool. Should definitely check out CSS modules and the fact that you could just use them in Fable or any Webpack setup, because it's actually just if you go to your Webpack config, it's part of this loader. So by default, the modules option, which is an option in here, is the default is called auto, and the auto option will check the file name to see if it has any if it has this .module .something extension, and if it has that, then it uses the CSS modules. So yeah, and style sheets, all that style sheet does, you might ask where this is coming from. All that it does is an alias for an import default function from Fable, from the Fable import, from JS import, and it returns something of this iStylesheet type, which has one member called item, which is the thing that allows indexing as a string. So using this emit, saying use the instance as the first argument and then index using the input class name to get that. You might actually get undefined. If you index an non-existing name, in which case you would have to say, if this exists, then return itself. Otherwise, return an empty string, something like that. So that would make it extra safe. You will get just an empty string and no class implements that. So yeah, I think this should work. Oh, it actually, this could work, right? This expression, this interrupt expression could work too. Let's see if it works. Refresh just to be sure. Start game. Yeah, works fine. But you get the idea. I mean, it's a template. You get to change stuff you want. It works well by default, but if there's something you can do better, feel free to change it. All right. Yeah, these warnings are a bit annoying because because now it shows up in the editor, even though they are working quite nicely. All right, we get some hover states. What do we want to do now? Yeah, what we want to do is make sure that you cannot move slots that aren't adjacent in vertical or horizontal space. How do we do that? I'm not sure. You kind of have to check the distance, and the distance will be the difference in x, y. Let's see how that works. Okay. Yeah, I have the 15Puzzle here. So if this is the first one, this would be 0, 0. This would be 0, 1. 0, 1. Let's play with it a little bit. So can move. A function can move will take the app state from which I want to know the free slot and this position. So tell me if this position can move within this app state. You could probably do it like this as well. I don't care in this state. So the easiest way to do this is if free position is equal to this position, to the input position, then false, you cannot move. Otherwise you can. But still you don't want to do that. So let's see. Else. Let me do it like this. Okay. Can you destruct the record like this? So x1 y is y1 equals the position. Can you destruct it like this? Yeah, x1. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And let's get the x2, y2. So x2 and y2 equals the state, the app state, and the free position. I shouldn't need to check this actually. If the logic works, I shouldn't need to check, because even if I can click here, it doesn't really matter. So now I have x1, y1, x2, y2. Let me see. Let the difference in horizontal x difference would be x2 minus x1, and let y difference or vertical difference is 2 minus y1. And now these can be max. So the sum of these can be less or equal to 1. X diff plus y diff less or equal to 1. Because if this is here, then the x difference will be 1, the y difference will be 1. Actually, I want the absolute of the differences. Does absolute work on integers? Please don't tell me I need to make it in that. Does it look good? Yeah, I can only move when the sum of the differences is less or equal to 1. Because if I'm here, the x difference is 0 and the y difference is 0. If I'm here, if I'm here, the x difference is 0, but the y difference is 1, which is okay. Alright, let me try that. So I'm into the components. Why do you need apps? Yeah. Why do I need apps? Because I don't know if if I get a negative for some reason, I just want to get the distance. I'm not sure, to be honest. Let's see how this works. So here in the on click, let me just get that for a second. On click, change state, set app state. So basically, if 15Puzzle can move actually I want to do this in the updater. Okay, because I want to do everything in terms of previous state, right? If 15Puzzle can move the previous state and the current position, which would be this position, then do this. Otherwise, just return the previous state, because we don't want to change anything inside. Okay. Yeah, once you click on one of those buttons, based on the previous state, if you can move, then trigger the slot selected event, which returns a new state, which we implemented previously in the previous stream. Otherwise, just return the state as is. Okay. Okay, these can move. 14 cannot, 8 cannot. Hey, there you go. 3 cannot, 12 cannot, but those can. Woohoo, we're getting somewhere. There you go. So if I'm here, I can move. Yeah, even I can't move this one. Okay. I kinda have to fight the urge to keep playing. Alright, so can move works. That's great. Now what I want to do is give a little hint that a button is in the right place, right? So basically, if one is in its proper place, then it should like change the color maybe. just saying that you don't need to change this place anymore. But again, even if something in the right place, we also like to get other pieces in the right place, we have to move them around, so they're not going to stay there all the time. Yeah, let's do that anyways. Let's see if we can yeah, give it another class if it's in the right position. Okay, so again, 15Puzzle. Let's make more functions. Let in correct place, in proper place, in the end place, I don't know. In final position. Okay, in final position we'll take a slot, and a slot is this tuple. Well, I can just take the position and the tag at the same time. So a position and a tag, and a position will be the x and y, right? So let x is x, y is y equals this position. And I think they are in the right position when you sum the xy coordinates, because this one 0 0 plus 1, this one 0 plus 1 plus 1, so there's like you sum the coordinates and add 1 to them. Will that actually work? So in final position, when x plus when you x plus y plus 1 will be the integer of the tag. The tag is the string. Will that actually work? Well, let's find out. So a position is in final position when this holds. So let me see. Let's call it final slot. It composes the slot base, but the background color will be a static orange, maybe? Hey, this looks nice. Maybe a little bit of opacity. Final slot, okay. Save that for me, nothing should change here. And in the components, okay. If 15Puzzle in final position using this tag and position, then, well, they're not tupled, right? If they're in this position, then I want another style from the final slot. Hey, that kind of looks nice, somewhat. Well, it's not really nice, it's just what is expected, right? It still hovers, and it still has the transition thingy. I think because slot still applies. Else if final position, then give me the final position, the final slot. I think I messed up those, so if in the free slot, give it the free slot. Else if in the final position, give it the final position, and finally give it the slot otherwise. Yeah, it's the cursor still. I don't think this one is clickable though, which means I need to remove the pointer from here and only add it to the slot. Yeah, like this. Yeah, you could still change them. Let's see. So, hey, 5 doesn't work. Why? It's 0. This is 0, 1. Hey, that doesn't work at all. That doesn't work at all. It works only for the first row, and 7 can apparently be okay in the free slot. That's totally not it, because 5 is in the right position here, and its coordinate is x. Its coordinate is 0, 1. So I think I have to multiply something by 4. Is it x times 4 plus y? Yeah. Because for each row we multiply by 4, then we start to count in the y direction. I think even if I do y times 4 should be fine. Let me see. That sounds like the proper way to do it. Okay. I still need another one here. Yeah, only these 2 left, so I need to just rotate them. How do I rotate them? No, I need to get the 14 here. I'm not getting it right, so if I do it like... Okay, I don't think this configuration is actually playable. Sometimes it doesn't always have a solution. Or maybe I need to look better. Because a 9 should be there. Let's try again. Alright, and anyways, it works. Let me try for the y as well. So it's x times 4. It should be fine. Nope, never mind. Just the x. That's a nice way to test whether this is working or not. I said I was going into unit testing, but I just want to finish the implementation first. Okay, so yeah, this kind of works. No, give me the 10 here. Just like that. Well, only these 13 and 14 are not in the proper position. I'm not sure if this actually looks good. What about light orange? Or just orange? Is that better? It's more bright. Can someone explain to me why this is working with raw offset for tracks? Because if you're here, x will be 0. Let's see, because wait, did I switch the thingies? Take the x position and the y position. Here will be yeah, these x's. Wait a second, so this is 0, 1, Yeah, basically everything on this row has x is equals 0 and just y plus 1. And here y will be 4. No, y will be 4 or y will be 2. I don't know anymore. It should be 4. Actually, let's look at the states. State, slots. Yeah, so for the 5 tag, x becomes 1 and y becomes 0, which means I have one row and I am on the first column. And one row will be the number, the row number plus, yeah, the x offset, which is 4. So if x is 1 times 4 will be 4 plus the 1 because of the 0 indexing, because the tags will always be plus 1, right? Yeah, because for example 9 is another example where x is 2, 2 times 4 is 8, and then plus 1 because of the 0 indexing. It's easier to look at. I did not think this through a lot. I'm just like thinking of examples of where this could work, and I came up with this. So yeah. All right. So in final position, is the free slot never in the final position actually? Well, the game is finished. Let's take the game. So let's say game finished when the app state, when state when list for all ID for position and tag in state slots will be in final position and tag. Does that make sense? So when this what I'm doing here is I'm making a list of booleans, and list for all ID will make sure that they're all true. And what I'm saying here is that the game is finished when all the slots are in their final position. All right, I think I could get this, can get rid of this plus 1 when I'm initializing the state from 1 to 4. Right? From 1 to 4. And then the index. Will that change anything? Let me just restart. Yeah, that does change stuff because these are not in the right position. But now 1 is not in the right position either. Why? Because 1 is the tag. Let me look at the states. Yeah, 1y1. Now I have to do -1 actually. Or do something like tag +1. Because 2. Yeah, I don't like that either. Let's revert. Okay, start. Yeah, that's more like it. All right. I'm not sure if these, the ones in final position actually make sense. Okay, let me try to do this real quick. Okay, I need the 8 in here, so that's okay. You can go here, you can go here. I want to switch with the 14 real quick. Come on, why can't I switch with the 14? Yeah, like this, thank you. Okay, now I just need to switch with the 10. I think I lost the... Yeah, I still lost the 13 again. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually make a, make a finished game. But okay, let's start the game. Let's make another... so let's make something here that tells us that we're done. Okay? So I have the children here, which makes these divs. And actually, let's make another one here. Another div. So this is the slot container. Maybe I want it outside of the slot container. Yeah, outside of the slot container would be better. Nope, don't do anything there. Because if I put it in the slot container, it would that work? Maybe I would need to make the width 100% to take the entire row. Let's see. Yeah, let me put it outside of the container. Div h1 or a p, I don't know. So if 15Puzzle game finished using the app state, then add this thing. You win. Now I'm not actually sure if we're going to see this here. It's not one. Next time we should write a solver for the puzzle. Absolutely. Except that I'm not sure. Can you change X and Y with row on call? Let me see. Where were we? Yeah, let's try to finish the game actually, because I'm not sure. We can. Okay. Now let's try it again. Okay. 1. Yeah, so the solver would be a really nice idea, so that you don't have to see me do this over and over. And also it would be nice to do it like in a timer or something like that, so that you see the steps. That'd be really cool. So that's the 9. Okay, now I really want the 13 to go before the... Oh, I can't move this, which makes sense. Yes, now I have those in the right order. I just need to rotate the other two. And I think on there, so no, the 10 is not rotated well yet. Oh man. Yeah, those two are good, except those two are not. I need to rotate those. Okay, almost there. And now I lost the 13 rotation. Ah, again. Again, alright. Yeah, I'm losing some of the last steps. I'm not sure why. I used to be able to know how to solve this one. Okay, another try. There was some kind of madness to it. Alright, so it was like this, maybe. And I lost the other rotations. Okay. Yeah, I need to switch those two. All right, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's in the right place. What do you think of this so far? Let's have a look at the initial state generation. It's being random. Maybe you just initialize the state with the finished state. I could, yeah. So this is the initializer for the state. It takes it generates the random numbers. Well, it generates 1 to 16, and it randomizes and it sorts them randomly. So you make a random, and then sort them randomly. And this just triggered me here. Well, I'm actually not using any messages, right? We're not using Elmish. Okay, so we have random tags, and then from 0 to 3, from 0 to 3, yield the slots. That's these are the positions, and to make the slots, we index the positions. Yeah, and the name of the tag will be one of those items in the randomized tags. So some index of the random tag. All right. And then the free tag will be the one that has the 16 number. All right. Let's initialize with the finished state, right? So if we initialize with the finished state, we just sort by ID, right? Hey, you win. That's nice. Yeah. But how do you get here? And I don't see it anymore. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Because they seem all to be in position. Except maybe the final slot? No. Let's inspect the HTML. Maybe it has something to do with HTML. This is the free slot. Yeah, I don't see the tag. Then why? Yeah, so I have this one. It means I am at a good starting position. Now I switched it. Maybe because the slots. Okay, I mean, let's look at the state here, because I think the slot loses its yeah, that's a free slot. Yeah, I see the tag, the replace tag got to 16, got 15 again, so it should be 16 when we're replacing those. Now we got duplicated 16. Is it the same for any other tag? Yeah. No, we have, what did we change? Yeah, I see 11 twice here, so the swapping isn't working perfectly yet. The swapping was done in the slot selected. So every slot you select becomes the free position, and the slots are modified such that if you click the free slot, everything stays the same, except that except otherwise, you clicked something else, in which case slot tag, switch it with the tag. If it's the free slot, if the slot is the free slot, yeah, we're looping through the slots. If the slot is the free slot and the position is not, and the selected position is not the free slot, then that position becomes the selected, then the tag changes. Else if you clicked on it, then it stays the same. Okay. So if the slot position something is weird here. Do you know what's going on? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I don't know, is reposition a word or not? I meant changing the slots step by step. I think we should reposition slots from finished state randomly. We may create a state that cannot be solved. Yeah, that sounds great. Actually, there's something, we could do some property testing here, where it will generate a lot of states and try to see if one of them is actually unsolvable. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure if it's me that cannot solve it or it's unsolvable. I don't know how to like prove it that some state is not solvable, right? Because it seems like you could basically switch everything. Yes, please, property testing. Yeah, we actually have a library for this. It's done by Cody Shmew, by the name of Shmew. He has some really great libraries with Fable, Jester, and one of them actually does property testing in Fable, so that's great. I think quick JS test or something like that. Let's if slot is tag then 16. Okay, oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm not sure we're trying to optimize a path, right? Are we trying to optimize a path here? It was proved that not all initial states are solvable. Yeah, if I can do them in an hour, that's enough proof. Because I usually solve this real quickly. So let's see. If the position, then the slot position becomes that tag. So I'm just changing the tags. where I need to swap them. Okay, let me look at this code again. When a slot is selected, if the selected position equals the current free slot, then do nothing. Otherwise, for each one, yeah, this already won't be the case because we already checked it here. If the slot position equals the free slot, the free position, which means while we are going through each slot, we reach the free position, then when are we actually changing the selected position? We're just changing the tags. So if we reach this position, maybe it should become like this. Yeah, because these two are the ones that are selected. Otherwise, keep them the same. Yeah, free position. Yeah, I think you're onto something. Because I just need to swap the tag, not the position itself. Okay. Yeah, if the slot position has the old free position, then that old position becomes the free slot. Okay. I think we're on to something. Fresh. Start. You win. Nope, that looks like a virus. Because it's contaminating everything here. Nope, that's not the one. It's the selected tag. So this is what it was. Yeah, this is what it was. And the tags are switched. If there's free position, swap out with the selected tag. Otherwise, use the current tag. What happens if I do this? Now I'm definitely breaking it. Yeah. Definitely breaking it. Slot position. Start game. Yeah, so it seems like... Okay, let's look at the state before and after. Components. The state, slots, yeah, everything from... Okay, so I am at the slot with the 15 tag X, Y, and the free position is the very last. If I click on 15, I did not see entirely what changed. Yeah, only the tag changed. Only the tag changed. I don't know. Previously what I did is I just changed the free position, so all these things would be doing nothing. If I'm at the free slot, change the tag. Well, I don't want to change the tag actually. I don't want to change any tags, so what I need to look is for if the slot position is the current position that I changed into, then that becomes the old position, right? Free slot, free position, and the same slot tag. This tag or slot tag, it doesn't matter, it's the same. So instead of swapping out those two, okay, it's still swapping tags. So a slot position equals this position, slot tag. So only change the positions basically. Let me see it again. No, why isn't this working? I'm going through each slot. Okay, again. Got any ideas? Because I click on 15 and then it goes through each slot. When I reach the 15 one, if I, yeah, 15 becomes, the position of 15 becomes the free slots. Okay, the tags do have to change. Start, yeah, but now I'm losing the other. Yeah, now it thinks it's alright, but no, it's not. Alright, I'm not sure actually. Yeah, back to square one, no pun intended. Alright, because the free slot is not mapped. Yeah, but do I need to map the free slot? I just need to map the one that isn't. I just need to swap them. Let's see. If slot position is position, yeah, that's the same position tag I want to select. It looks like it was working before, at least visually, so what was the problem? I think the tag in the free slot is wrong. Yeah, it starts correct. It starts at 16. Because if I look at the initial states, the slots are all good. They all have these tags from 1 to 16. But once I click on 15, which is this one, the free slots also become 15. So if I click on 15, this one is the selected, and this one should be swapped. So if I click on this, the free position changes, that's correct. The free position is this one. Yeah, but why did this become 15? Because this was the old free position. Because I'm assuming the alt free position maintains its own tag in here. So if I'm looping through the slots, I reach the current one of the slot is the free slot, then change its tag to the current selected one. Oh, I think I found it. Else, if this, so I correctly switched the free position, I think. Else, if slot position is position, position, wow, position. Yeah, so I have to swap both of them. Its position, then I have to do something else. For now, just this. But now, actually, I need to find the tag that is at the old free position. So let's free position tag, even though it should be 16, but I'm not sure it's always the case. Free position tag is the old tag. Slots list find. It should get a value out of this, right? Yeah, find position and tag where position equals the state free position. SND. Or I should say old free position tag. Well, that's a mouthful. All right, let's give that a try. Refresh. Start game. No, why? Because if I click here, this becomes a free slot and the tag is still 15. Hey, but that's correct, because what am I trying to solve actually here? It is correct. I did not win when I do this. It's good. I'm not, or wasn't it not working before? Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, it wasn't working when I win, when I unwin and win again, right? Let's see, start game. Yeah, that was the problem. That's it. Okay. Start game. Oh, there you go. We did it. So find a free position, swap the tag with the selected tag. Then if we are in the position that was going to swap with the free position, then find the old free position tag and swap that instead. So I needed to do the swapping twice. There should be a better way to do this. So let free position tag, which takes the app state. Maybe I should keep track of the tag as well, I'm not sure. I need this here too, which will be this one. Free position tag. Yeah, I'm computing it from the state, which is okay-ish, but Not ideal. Okay. Refresh. Nice. Whew. That was quite something. I'm still not at the point where I know how to solve it properly. So let me remove, get to the proper sorting. Random. Next. Bytes. Next double. Okay. Start game. Let me try that real quick. That's the 1, 2, 3. 4. Come on. That's the 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let me try that here. Hey! I did it! It's nice. Woo! I get the you win. I can get it here. Maybe after you win, someone shouldn't do anything. Whoa, that was quite something. As always, to be 16. Yeah, I needed to switch them back and forth. I really think we should model it differently. Make invalid states unrepresentable. We have free position in 2 places in state. We should have it just one in one place. We should have it in one place. Yeah, because it's kind of weird. Yeah, because I have a list of slots and then keeping the free position here. Maybe I should have it in the slot, like so a slot will be this basically. Plus a tag of a string. And whether it's free or not, I guess it's just whether it's 16. If the tag is 16, then it's free, which we basically compute. I think that would be easier. But yeah, that was quite fun and interesting, I hope. I think we got through a lot here, and I need to see why I need to refresh this. Well, I guess I need to refresh because the functionality was different, but if I change something in the UI, it shouldn't it shouldn't call itself again, otherwise the state will be reset. So this is all good. You win when the game is finished. Yeah, I didn't get into unit testing. I was hoping to get into it, but yeah, I guess we can do that for another time. For today, I think I'll wrap it up. I will push this code to GitHub, which is, let's see, use CSS, use CSS modules for styling. And what else did we do? Game state, show when player has won, and show when player has won. All right. Push. You know where to find the code. The code is on GitHub with this repository name, if you're interested in it. Please continue. yeah, it was really fun. I think we should call it a day. Let's wrap it up, call it a day, and do this another time. Thanks a lot for watching, and hope to see you soon.